So hi folks, welcome to another exciting edition. So last time we left off when we had downloaded Anaconda. So this is what you're supposed to have in your computer. You're supposed to have Anaconda. If you followed, if you don't know how to install Anaconda and to start learning Python, you can go to my YouTube account, and you can also visit pyzim.edublogs.org. There you'll be able to see how the steps that you can do in order to install Anaconda. So if you go onto an Anaconda and click here, you are going to have this. This is the Anaconda Navigator. So you find that in the Navigator, there are a lot of options, right? But I'll just talk about the most popular one. Okay, so let's start off with this one, this PowerShell prompt and this CMD execution file. So this execution file is very important when you have advanced. I think we can be doing this in December, right? When we look at how we can then say we want a program to run at 12 midnight, we use this execution file to run your scripts, right? So the Jupyter lab is just a lab. It's huge. There are a lot of interactive items that you can use to write code. Then the notebook is the most common one. I think we are going to, for this course, so this introduction course, we are going to be using the Jupyter Notebook. Then you've got the PowerShell prompt. For those who know batch processing on the shell, I'm sure even on your computer you have done some batch processing. Batch is really cool when you want to automate, a few items. You can use batch commands. They are fast. I love batch commands. I love shell commands myself. So Anaconda has got its shell, and you can do anything in the shell as long as you just good with code, right? Then this one, Qt console supports inline figures. Okay, this one I don't know. I've not used this one. The Spyder, I love Spyder because it's got an interface that looks like R. Spyder is really cool for introspecting and testing your code and advanced editing. Spyder is really cool. Then this one, VS Code, is Microsoft Visual Studio. It's really powerful. It can integrate with any programming language. So yeah, VS is dope. Then Gluviz, nah, I've not used Gluviz. Orange 3, nah, I've not used Orange 3. Then R Studio, oh yeah, R Studio. I have R Studio. Remember, we've got other stats Zim where I also write stuff, and now I'm the founder of that thing. So yeah, I love R. So we're gonna be playing with R in Jupyter Notebook for most of the cases. Then yeah, when we start to do some big things, we can do Spyder and VS Code. Then yeah, the execution file is also key when you want to do some processing. So let's start. I'm gonna launch my Jupyter Notebook, right? So it might take maybe a minute, depends with your computer, but since it's launching for the first time, it might then take us a few minutes before it launches. So yeah guys, that's it. I really hated doing this introduction because when you're introducing anything, you spend a lot of time, but people will not really see what you are doing and appreciate sometimes. But when we do the actual code, it's really fun because you'll be able to see results, you'll be able to see movement, and you'll be able to code along and do the cool stuff, right? So yeah guys, we are waiting for our environment to launch. Oh no. So because I've got RStudio installed, right, it will send a token to my RStudio. Then I'll copy the token and run it in my browser. Then I I can start working. But for you, maybe you might not really have R Studio, so it will just launch straight into your browser, right? So you don't have to worry about this thing. But for me, yeah, this is the token I was talking about, right? So I'm just gonna pick this token. It can help me from protect me from hackers and stuff. Okay, so I'm launching my favorite browser, and I'll just uh, you know um, paste this token. Then we are good to go, guys. We are ready to start. I can't wait to show you guys what Python is and start to do some cool stuff in Python. Oh my god, my screen is just white, it's not doing anything. Ah, yeah, it comes. Okay, fine. So let's paste this link. Okay, so I've pasted the link. Welcome to Python. I hope you guys are enjoying this, huh? Okay, so if you're not enjoying this, just hang on a bit. We're about to do the cool stuff, right? You've downloaded your Python, it's in your environment. Now you're good to go. So yeah, my Jupyter is launched and saying files running clusters. So if I go to running, there are no running items, right? Clusters, there's nothing here. I can do parallel processing. That's for some other time. Okay, but what I need to do is to just create a file. All right, so I'm gonna go to my desktop, right? Then I'm gonna say new, right? Then I'm gonna say folder. So I'm creating a folder for you guys, right? Oh no, it's taking too long. We could have just created our script and start coding, huh? What do you think, guys? Okay, new folder. Oh no, this one has got too many things already. The folder that I was creating, Untitled folder. Yes, this one. So I've got this one called Untitled folder, right? So I'm gonna make a new Python 3, right? So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so this is our Python notebook, right? So this is our Jupyter notebook. Here we're gonna say introduction to Python 102. Yeah, introduction to Python 102, right? Yeah, Python 102. So I've created a script called introduction. So let's just start with the basic here. What you see, the file, if I click on file, I'm able to navigate and open a new workbook. I can create a new one or open an existing one. I can make a copy, I can save as, I can rename, I can save and checkpoint, I can revert to a checkpoint. So saving checkpoint and reverting to a checkpoint, what it means is like, okay, so you've been working, I want to save my stuff right now and I want to come back, after some 3 hours and just go 2 hours. So I can just save and checkpoint, right? Then if I'm working again and maybe, I could I'm working, then there's, my computer crashes, but if I've used checkpoint, I can go to that checkpoint. So this is revert to a checkpoint, then print preview, you can look at your print, then download as. You can also do some cool stuff, right? Like our code, we can download it as an ANSI doc, HTML, we can use it LaTeX, we can download it as a Markdown file, we can download it as a notebook, IPy, and B, we can save it as a PDF as well. Yeah, we can save it as a REST, we can save it as a python.py file, we can save it as a JS slides, isn't it? So that's cool. We can do a lot of stuff with Python, right? So let's go to a say edit there. So the edit can help us to to just do some quick navigation on our Python, right? To say how can you copy cells, how can you delete cells, how can you merge above, so what you see are like shortcuts of you doing it instead of you can just come to edit. So view, yeah, there's nothing much there. We'll not be using toggle header, toggle toolbar, cell toolbar. Okay, there's not much there. Okay, let's go to insert. Again, there's no insert above, insert or below, then cell, run cells, run selected cell, run all above. I think there's not much there. It's just when you want to run a code, do you want to run the current cells, do you want to run a group of cells, or do you want to run all? So these are like the choices that you have, right? Then the kernel, you can say you're writing your code, then you have problems, you want to interrupt the file from executing. Let's say it's taking very long, so you can actually come and interrupt sometimes you realize, oh, my strips are no longer performing like they were doing when I started running the program. So you can actually restart the program, then you can restart and clear output, right? You can restart and remove it, then you can restart and run, or you can reconnect, you can shut down, you can change kernel, right? Then widgets is really cool. Save notebook widget, state, clear notebook widget, download widget, pay, embed widgets. Yeah, this is really cool. Then help user keyboard shortcuts. These are like all the keyboard shortcuts that you can think of. Like Control O, select all cells, Control A, insert cell above, Control B, insert cell below, Control X. You'll be seeing these things when you actually do the coding. Like when I want to add a cell, I just do Control A, Control B, Control Shift Shift V, paste cells above, Shift V, paste cells below, paste Shift V, undo, delete cells. So there are many, alt, enter, change cell code, change cell markdown, change cell to row, change heading. You can look at this keyboard shortcut. It can save you a lot of time, guys, right? So that's it. Then we look at this one. This one is a save and checkpoint. Then plus, it means you can add a cell below. As you can see, I have another cell. If I do plus again, you see I've got another cell. If I do cut, it removes the cell. If I do cut, you can see the effect there. And then copy selected cell. If I wanted to copy cells, I would use this one. Then here paste. Then this one is just saying move cells move selected cells up, so I can select some cells in the notebook and promote them. Then I can demote some, like I can move them down. Then when I want to run code, I can use the run. Then this is the stop button. I can stop some program, when it's running. Then this one, the restart, it can restart the kernel. Then this one, what you then do is restart the kernel and rerun the whole notebook with a dialog book, right? Then code, then the code I can change to Markdown, I can change to heading. This allows me to control like my input, right? What I'm typing, what I'm entering into the system, what I'm entering into the graphical user interface, right? So then this one is just the commands. Again, it's more like commands and shortcuts, right? It just tells you which commands can perform an action, right? Okay, so guys, let's start. So we'll just start with basic things. Like if I wanted to say 2 plus 2, right, I'll select run. We get the output is 4, right? So I want to put a heading. I'll then code them and move from code into a Markdown. you see that it changes. So now if I can say my first notebook, right, then when I run this cell, right, it just runs. There is no code there, so that's how it will show. Then if I say row NB connect, row notebook connect or heading, let's say heading, it means I can then Jupyter no longer uses special heading, instead write your heading in Markdown cells. Okay, so what this is saying is that if I put two hash, then I can say like my heading, right, then run. You can see the difference, right, that this one is darkened and this one is light. So that's just basically how you change code. So whenever you want to write some of your notes, you need to use this one to change to Markdown, right? Then remember to switch to code when you want to do coding, right? So yeah, that's just basically how I hope everyone has managed to set up his or her own environment, and you're able to remember when you want help, your keyboard shortcuts. Remember your keyboard shortcuts. Then yeah, edit keyboard shortcuts. You can also edit your shortcuts. You can create your own. Then these are libraries that will be doing some stuff later on, but I'm not going to talk much about these ones. These are just libraries like NumPy, SciPy, Matplotlib for diagrams, SymPy, symbols, Python, then pandas. So there's a lot of things that we are going to cover. So guys, for now I think it's enough. We'll see you again in the next video. Bye for now.